Today, I want to answer the question, is a one-day flip real estate legit? I fully understand that in a world of technology, in the world we live in today, it's facilitated the speed to make things happen really quick. But is it possible to flip a piece of property in one day? Well, stick with me because by the end of this video, I am going to reveal if a one-day real estate flip is actually legit. We live in a fast-paced world and everybody wants something done quickly. And real estate is no exception. Have you ever wondered, would it be possible to flip a piece of real estate in one day? It sounds crazy, but let's dive into this topic. I will first break down for you the components that come when you're flipping real estate. Secondly, I'm going to break down for you what would have to happen in order for you to even flip a property in one day. And finally, I'm going to give you my conclusion if I really believe that flipping a piece of property in one day is actually legit. If you're ready, let's go. So what components make up a real estate flip? First thing you got to do is you got to find the right market and the right properties. If you break it down to its core, flipping real estate is when an investor purchases a piece of property that they do not plan any personal use at, and they do some things to enhance it, or they buy it at a low enough price that they're looking to sell it at a profit. And there's many examples for this. I mean, flipping could happen in anything. It could happen with a car, it could happen with a commodity, it can happen with anything, but real estate, it's really easy to understand. If you look at the home close to you that you say, okay, this home is maybe a little bit more run down than the others. If I were to buy this property, I would get it at this price because it's run down. I would do a few things to fix it up and I would turn around and sell it for market value and I would make X amount of money. That's a flip in real estate. And there are certain scenarios, certain market conditions where people have bought a piece of property before, bought it, sat on it for a few months and sold it for a higher price. That doesn't happen very often, nor would I say that that is the norm, but it has happened before. Now, when you're thinking about flipping properties, the first thing you need to look at and think about is the market. Is the market in such a situation that you're able to flip homes? Because if there is a ton of inventory on the market that you're looking to flip homes, it's gonna be a little bit more challenging, right? Because if there's a lot of inventory, that means there's a large supply. And when there's a large supply in the marketplace, what happens to price? Well, if everything stays the same, a lot of times if there's a ton of inventory, prices have to come down. When prices come down, the only differentiator in selling a home versus this home and that home is the price. So you have to look at the market that you're looking to flip real estate. But even more important than that is finding a property that is below market value. And you can do that by looking at properties that are in pre-foreclosure, foreclosure, or at an auction. And how do you do that? Well, you can do it a bunch of different ways. You can do it through realtors. I love utilizing realtors to find properties that are distressed or distressed sellers. You could also use software that specifically looks for off-market deals. And the one that I absolutely love is RealFlow. It helps me find, I can put filters in there that allow me to look at different properties in certain areas all throughout the United States. With these filters in there, I can say absentee owner, pre-foreclosure, and maybe a lien on the property, and it will list all the properties in that area. And then if I find properties I like, I can actually send a mailer out to them to see if I can get interest. I love that software. Another one you can do is driving for dollars. If you just drive around neighborhoods and be like, oh my goodness, this property looks like it's a little bit run down, I'm gonna go knock on the door or knock on the neighbor's door to get a little more information. And obviously the second thing is you gotta get them at a discount, right? When we're talking about discount, we're talking about distressed properties, which we just talked about, and distressed sellers. This is somebody who's going through a challenging situation, maybe a divorce, a job change, or maybe their situation just changed where they're not making payments to the bank and the bank is breathing down their neck. But you need to go into those situations with compassion and a mindset that is solution oriented. The other component that's crucial when you're flipping properties, now that you know the market, you found the area, you get them at a discount, is you have to have buyers, right? If you're gonna flip a piece of property quickly, you've got to find somebody who wants to buy the property. And that can be done a bunch of different ways. One group that does it better than almost most out there that I've known for a long time is Joe Homebuyer. And they told me this thing when I first met with them. They said the most important thing about wholesaling or flipping a piece of property quickly is to create a buyer's list. Now, a buyer's list is just potential people who are interested in real estate who would be able to buy a piece of property. And you can build that over time. Anybody you meet that is interested in buying real estate could fit on that buyer's list. I get texts and emails every single day from Joe Homebuyer about properties that they're constantly flipping. The next thing you can do, and this is a really important one, is being on Facebook real estate groups. This is a great way to list properties that you've just got and you're looking to flip. There's always people on there looking to buy and people that are looking to sell. If you're not on Facebook groups, you're missing out. Another thing you can do is join real estate investment clubs. There's a group out there out of Dallas that's specifically for women, and I love this group. They do an amazing job. It's called RAIN, Women's Real Estate Investor Network. And it's basically an REI club that gets together. I was one of their events this summer, and just to see the networking that went on with these different women that are investing in real estate was super empowering and super awesome. And I can tell you that a lot of deals were being done and a lot of partnerships were being formed. So joining an REI club is also a great way to invest in real estate, to have a solution to sell a home in the end. So are you really able to flip a piece of property in one day? I think you absolutely could, but conditions have to be met. You have to get a property at a very low price that you could turn around and sell it the same day. Once you have that in place and you have the property under contract, probably more than a flip, you would be a contract assignment, or it would be a wholesale deal, right? Which is essentially is a contract assignment. So in order to make that happen, the very low price, and you'd have to have a buyer's list or a place to get exposure to the property that you have under contract. And you have all those things in place with a proper documentation, you would be able to flip that property in one day. Now, would it close in one day? Maybe not, probably not. But you could definitely find a piece of property, turn around and assign that contract or wholesale that to somebody else in a day if you had all those components and elements set up the right way. Now, I get it. Real estate investing, flipping properties is super exciting. There's tons of shows out there that talk about flipping pieces of property. But I'll tell you what, I have come up with a strategy when it comes to flipping real estate that is one of the best I've ever seen. It works in any market, in any condition, and it requires little to no money out of your pocket, and it utilizes proven real estate strategies. I call it cash flow flipping. And this video right here, if you click on that video, I go into great detail exactly how the strategy works, how I came up with it, and how anybody can do it. Just click on this video and watch it in detail. It will blow you away. Thanks for stopping by. Have an amazing day.